My name is H.A. Goodman, and I'm an author, columnist, and journalist. Hit subscribe right now. You definitely want to get the take of somebody who used to be the biggest Bernie Sanders booster on the internet, who is now a Trump supporter. One of the reasons you want to get my take on things, especially in 2019, is because President Trump's going to fight back in 2019. You're going to see a lot more in terms of revelations, in terms of Trump turning the table against Hillary Clinton, James Comey, all the people who actually committed crimes, framed him, fabricated Trump Russia. The Steele dossier is complete and utter rubbish nonsense. We know that. There is no evidence of any of the major claims. The major claims that Manafort, Carter Page, Papadopoulos, and Michael Cohen worked with Russian intelligence to hurt Hillary Clinton, there's not one shred of evidence. Nobody has been prosecuted. No Manafort, Page, Page, nothing. And Page is within that report prominently. Nothing happened. But Michael Cohen, with the whole Prague nonsense, he wasn't prosecuted for that. Okay, so obviously there's not a shred of evidence there. It was purchased by Hillary Clinton, and it was actually purchased in April of 2016. So, any claim made afterwards is just, okay, well, here you go, boss. We'll give you the goods. And that was utilized, by the way, by the U.S. government. That's a whole other story. Beto ORourke doesn't like the wall. Okay. Beto ORourke is the antithesis of the identity politics candidates. He has a Spanish nickname. That's it. He is a white man. His only claim to fame is that his nickname is Beto and that he was arrested for drunk driving and that he's a young Bernie Sanders. The difference being that Bernie Sanders, even though I'm disappointed with him and I'm a Trump supporter and I don't like people who just in 2 seconds cave to those who cheat them, at least Bernie Sanders has a record of fighting for what he believes in up until he was cheated, but fine. Now, Beto ORourke doesn't. Beto ORourke is a marketed individual, whatever entity. As of right now, well, as of November 7th, or November 2018, the odds for presidency, President Trump had an 8-5 odds to become president. He was actually favored more than anyone else. And he still will be, especially if it's Beto. At Beto, he is against the wall. He condemned the wall. 38% chance of being reelected. That's what one of the. So I'm reading right now, Market Watch. The hilarious thing is that Kamala Harris is 8-1, and Beto ORourke is 10-1. He was 400-1. He was a 400-1 long shot to become president. Now he's a 10-1 long shot. He's probably a lot. This is a Market Watch article. Beto ORourke odds of winning the presidency in 2020 have soared. So you have a situation now where people are really in love with this guy. They are really in love with Beto ORourke because his name is Beto and he's a white guy, even though he's a 9% chance of winning. Even though Democrats are into identity politics, the point is also not only is he condemning the wall, but he's trying to build a repertoire or a base of support to perhaps challenge Trump or to perhaps win the Democratic nomination. That's going to be hilarious. If it's Beto ORourke, he'll get creamed, squashed. I think that Biden would have a better chance, but I don't even think Biden could beat Trump. But Beto ORourke is against the border wall, but he's not against the fence that Democrats voted for in 2006 and 2013. They voted for a fence. They were okay with a fence. They were not okay with a wall. This is what we're talking about. So, Vanity Fair, Trump got lucky. Why GOP insiders fear Beto and Biden. Yeah, right. GOP insiders are loving anything to do with Beto ORourke. And open secrets, you can just look at right here. Beto ORourke also, the polls are completely messed up with this guy. So the polls don't take into account the fact that he was just like Hillary Clinton. He outspent his opponent and still lost. So Beto Cruz, open secrets. Texas 2018 Senate race. Ted Cruz spent $45 million. Beto ORourke spent almost $79 million. Sorry, raised $79 million, spent, almost $79 million. So you're talking about almost double. Almost 2-1. Okay? Almost 2-1. And when you factor in media, obviously 2-1. So from 45, Ted Cruz won. Now we're talking about Texas. Okay. He's going to have to win swing states, Beto ORourke. He has nothing. He's accomplished nothing. What has he accomplished other than being a white man with a Spanish nickname? He's not going to run on Medicare for all because he's not going to run on raising taxes. Once they call him on that, once they call anyone who runs on Medicare for all, and this is the thing, like you have like certain progressive pundits that they don't address this. They don't address this. The Mercatus study says double to triple tax collections. So you're either going to have to double to triple personal and corporate income tax or get close to that. Then there's an Urban Institute study. But regardless, let's say it's not double. Let's say it's increased taxes by 10, 15% or 20%. You're going to have to run on increasing taxes. Beto ORourke's not going to do that. And for 2 years, you know what? Thank goodness the Democrats won the House. We have to stare at Pelosi now. And people are going to ask Alexandria Cortez and others, well, wait a second. You promised Medicare for all. What happened? They have the House for 2 years. They're not going to pass the Medicare for all bill. Because again, for 320 plus million Americans, you would have to increase taxes, either double or triple, or incredibly by an amount like 20 to 30% or 15% per income tax bracket for personal and corporate. Income tax bracket for personal, and then the corporate tax you'd have to increase. But he's not going to run on that. That's my point. You can't roll into 2020 saying we're going to increase your taxes after Trump decreased taxes and the economy's doing well. It doesn't make any sense. And the left is now, that's the little carrot that's dangling, that's seducing everyone, is Medicare for all. Medicare for all, Medicare for all. Beto is the poster child for that. Bernie Sanders at least has written legislation. Nobody, the mainstream Democrats didn't back it. Some did, but it didn't go anywhere. 2020 poll, Beto beats Trump. Trump beats Beto. What am I saying? But the interesting thing about this is that he's trying to tell Trump, oh, you know what, your wall is wrong, it's horrible, it's atrocious. Meanwhile, Democrats voted for a physical barrier. All the Democrats, Bernie, Warren, Clinton in 2006. But the interesting thing is that the polls are completely messed up. The same polling problem. I was right in 2016 that Clinton lost, and that was like, I was one of the few people, in addition to Sticks, saying Clinton would lose. And I stated that in 2015. And I knew the polling data was completely off. I was wrong on the House recently. I got the Senate right, fine, whatever. But I was wrong on the House. I thought the polls would still be wrong. Now, the presidential polls could still be out of whack. I think they probably will be. Regardless, you have Cruz, you have Beto, like in some of these polls, neck and neck or tied. So November 3rd, Change Research poll, 49%. Okay, he ends up losing. Cruz doesn't do, it's not like Cruz wins by that many votes, but he loses Texas, Beto, after outspending 2-1. So it's close, but the point is, it's almost a 2-1 margin, and he's getting all the media play. Democrats, Trump's going to win in 2020. The only chance of him losing is if he just doesn't turn the tables, or if there's zero investigations into Clinton and her criminal behavior. I don't even need indictments, before 2020. I was wanting that, but then when Trump bringing home Americans from Syria and Afghanistan, and then one rebuttal is, well, he's going to deploy some to Iraq. No, I don't want that, but at least he's bringing the majority of the 10,000 back home. As of right now, I haven't heard redeployment to Iraq. But and also one person who is a wonderful person who watches my channel, who disagrees with me, but he is wonderful. And he said, well, many of the claims in the Steele dossier have been which claims? Which claims? Who are the Russian people that were interviewed? We don't know. That stated that Papadopoulos, Flynn, Manafort, Carter Page, and Michael Cohen spoke to certain. Who are the people that said that all the Americans I named spoke to certain individuals, and who are those Russian intermediaries or Kremlin associated figures or Russian government operatives? Zero evidence of anything. Zero evidence of anything. Notice that nobody was indicted based on Steele dossier gossip, because it's complete and utter rubbish. So they're like, oh yeah. So what is proven? Nothing. Carter Page has never been indicted for anything. Michael Flynn was not indicted for anything to do with that. He didn't even lie to the FBI. Manafort was not indicted. He's prominently stated within the Steele dossier. So tell me who was, like, what's the Steele dossier good for? Michael Cohen is not indicted because of the Steele dossier. Nothing to do with Prague. And there's just four people with knowledge in the McClatchy article. 4 people with knowledge. No, what about cell phone companies? You can't get a cell phone company to say the guy was in Prague. 4 people with knowledge say a cell phone tower. Oh, and one mystery Eastern European intel agency. We don't spend $35 billion for the NSA, FBI, and CIA. So there's absolutely nothing in the Steele dossier that was proven. Absolutely nothing. It was purchased by Hillary Clinton. Why doesn't, you know what we should do? If the Steele dossier is proven or was proven, or there's a lot that is said to have been proven, which is not true, why doesn't Trump just go ahead and buy his own Steele dossier against Clinton? It could be the Trump dossier or the McConnell dossier. Why doesn't he just do that? It's all rubbish and nonsense. But my point is this. Ted Cruz barely won. Fine. Ted Cruz is a horrible candidate. Ted Cruz is not an inspirational figure. Trump is to his voters and to a person like me who longed for Bernie Sanders to fight when I was on the left. And the main reason I voted for Bernie is because I wanted him to bring Americans home. Trump is not doing that. Okay. Trump is now doing that. So, and he's the antithesis. There's Max Boot is voting for Democrats. Neoconservatives are the Bush neocons are Democrats now. Bill Kristol, Max Boot, but you have Beto losing. You have Beto condemning Trump's wall. Beto ORourke odds of winning presidency in 2020 have soared, according to this betting site. He now is around Kamala Harris odds. What's Biden in November? What's Biden? Biden doesn't even have Biden. Oh, there's some polls that have Trump beating Biden. So let's see. Biden's leading the Iowa poll. Are most Democrats excited about having someone new? Someone new beats out Biden. Oh, this is 3 days ago. Trump beats ORourke, nearly ties Sanders, and loses to Biden. So, Biden would lose, I think, because you don't want another. President Obama could have had a third term in Clinton. One reason Clinton didn't win is because Obama was lackluster in terms of what the majority of the country wanted. And the only thing I worry about, Biden leads an early 2020 matchup. Okay, so I'm not worried about Biden. What I'm worried about is the media just going absolutely berserk. You had 2 years of just Trump, this, Trump, that. If his achievements and accomplishments, and I'm going to set up a website very soon regarding Trump's achievements and accomplishments. There are many accomplishments, especially from a liberal perspective, which is interesting. Prison reform. The survey. Oh, it's a survey. Okay, whatever. Biden leading Trump 42-36. Yeah, right. President tops Beto ORourke. Look, you're going to have to just win. Oh, Pennsylvania. Well, there you go. Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, Florida. Can Biden win those states? I think he has a better chance than ORourke. I do think, though, that President Trump will win those states or will win 2020. But here's the caveat. 2019 has to be a year he fights back against the Russia probe and Clinton's crimes. If 2019 is the same year as 2018, I think that Trump will have a tough chance, but he'll win. But he'll have a much tougher chance. Because the thing is, the polls seem to be, well, with ORourke at least, the polls don't, well, with all of them, but the polls don't take into account the money, the difference in money, and I think that Trump won't be outspent 2-1. I can't be certain about that, but it'll probably be a little bit more even than 2016 he won. You're going to have my thing is that if he doesn't fight back, and I believe he will, 2019 is going to be a great year. He's at risk of all his achievements being overshadowed by hysteria about his presidency. But I think 2019 is going to be absolutely fantastic, and he will fight back. Beto ORourke is against the wall. Beto ORourke is a poster child for progressive politics, and he's actually the antithesis of identity politics, which says all you need to know It says all you need to know about Democrats when they rail and they condemn and they crap on white males. And then guess what? Joe Biden and Beto O'Rourke. That's pretty. Democrats have no value system. Do you understand? They just try to latch on to anything that'll give them power. That's it. If they live on condemning others. They don't have a value system. Hit subscribe right now. They want Beto. And the hilarious / sad thing is that the guy who created Beto O'Rourke, Bernie Sanders, the original, they don't want anymore, which is what I predicted very early on. Give me your thoughts. Hit subscribe. Thank you.